Here's what New York Times said. 5 takeaways from this book. DeSantis avoids clashing with Donald Trump. DeSantis praises Trump for bringing unique star power to the 2016 campaign. He criticizes the Russia investigation and mostly blames Dr. Anthony Fauci and other health experts for federal government's initial response to the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah, because Russia was fake and Fauci and them were wrong, okay, for the way they handled it. And Florida showed that they did it the right way, not some other states. Now, again, that is my opinion. A lot of numbers can show that, but that's the first part. Second, DeSantis underplays Trump's influence. It's widely accepted that Trump's support was critical to DeSantis' victory in 2018 race for governor, but DeSantis presents a different take. His debate performance was the clincher, he writes. I disagree. I read the book. DeSantis specifically said that President Trump, one time before DeSantis even announced he's running, he asked him for a favor to say something. Trump tweeted about DeSantis, saying if he ever ran, he would be great, prior to him announcing. Then DeSantis announced that he's running for governor. And then when it's getting close, when the debate happened between him and
Andrew Gillum?
Yeah, not Gillum, the Republican.
Charlie Crist?
Not Charlie Crist. No,
the first
DeSantis?
one.
DeSantis, the first one he went with. Not
Gillum.
2018.
Andrew Gillum.
Is it Gillum?
2018,
okay.
yeah.
So he's going against Gillum, and they're having the debate, and then it comes to the point where he needs an endorsement. Then Trump tweeted again. So he gave credit to Trump supporting him twice in the book. So whatever New York Times is saying, if the average person doesn't read the book, they're going to say, oh, did you see what he did? In the book, he clearly states if it wasn't for those tweets, that would have not been the same. So he gave credit. I just want to make sure people know that. Number 3, DeSantis sees the COVID pivot point. When 2020 got underway, I was merely a state governor entering his second year in office, DeSantis writes. Within 6 months, I would emerge as one of the leading anti-lockdown elected officials in the world. Yeah, that's a pretty big decision he made. Number 4, DeSantis boasts of his use of executive power. Both critics and courts have rebuked the governor for executive overreach, but DeSantis is unbowed. He writes proudly about promising to overrule any major that did not want to host Ultimate Fighting Championship events during the pandemic. The book touts his removal of the elected prosecutor in Tampa, a Democrat, and he calls state budget vetoes a source of leverage against GOP lawmakers who do not want to face primaries. He explains all of that in the book. This the way they're. You were going to say something?
No, I said don't forget about point number 1. It's not just the UFC.
Yeah.
Where did the NBA bubble come to?
That's right.
Everybody.
Where did the Super Bowl
Everybody
go to?
came. Where did AOC go for vacation for Christmas?
Right.
She was hanging out with me in South Beach.
She was
That's
with
right.
Adam.
Yeah.
Number
had to
5,
rub oil over
DeSantis does not dish. Anyone looking for insight into the famously closed-off governor will be disappointed. DeSantis offers a few behind-the-scenes details and skips over some parts of his biography entirely, including the 2016 run for U.S. Senate. He does write about marrying his wife, Casey, at Disney World, but without Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck in our wedding photos. You know, I will tell you this from reading it. You know how the book was written? I've worked with people like DeSantis in my career. And people like DeSantis in my career that I've met, they're very
the book
structured.
Like, let me tell you, this is the kind of guy that from 25 years ago, he was careful on every text and email that he wrote because he knew this day was coming.
Got you.
Okay, this is the guy that's very methodical, who gets in, who's close. I can probably tell you, he probably doesn't have 40 friends. This is the kind of guy that probably has 2 to 5 friends max, is what DeSantis got. And that's intentional. This is not a guy that trusts a lot of different people. This is not a guy that lets a lot of people into his life. So if a person says things like that, would I say, yeah, they're right? Yeah, if you read the book, there's some parts of it where he's aloof. He's not giving you a lot.
Got you.
But that's because that's his personality.
So think about having that
close to the
vision,
vest.
that focus, that dedication, Pat, from all those years to know that all those years later, it's going to come to a point where you're not going to have that grab them by the you-know-what moment or the this or the text or the you're just a clean-cut Navy SEAL. You hope. Oh, don't get me wrong. If he is the front guy, the left is 100% going to find some shit because they have people looking at that right now for Trump number 2, if he's running, and for DeSantis, but it's going to be way more difficult to find it on this guy, bro. Way more difficult.
I found that review by the Times a little more balanced than I would have expected from the Times. But there's one thing that they need to go look in the mirror, catch a little reflection. Oh, he abuses executive power.
Yeah.
It's the New York Times that's been asking Biden to use the executive order pen against conservatives for the past 2 years, and they were pushing Obama last day in office to do, certain executive orders. So let's calm down on that part of it, because that's the way this game is played.
Exactly.
Yeah, obviously he's kind of what he did with we're talking about these 5 points right here. He's basically saying thanks, Trump, but no thanks.
Exactly.
Hey, appreciate it. What he does here with point number 2, like he's saying, yeah, thanks, you got me in 2018,
looking out.
but thanks, I'm kind of this way now. But no disrespect, he's kind of not talking trash out there. Even though Trump, you talk about what's going on, he leaked that picture of Ron DeSanctimonious with underage girls. Like, Trump's got to have some more stuff up his playbook. I think at the end of the day, if you're asking just any old average American, what they think that DeSantis sort of represents freedom and Trump is more the chaos candidate, and that's not who's going to be in the primary. I mean, but for a general election.
You know what I saw today? I think it was on Vanity Fair, or I saw it on Economist, or one of them, where it said, Trump can still be president even if he's convicted or he's charged or he's this. That's kind of what they were saying.
Really?
Yeah. So there is, listen, there is a lot of fear. Is this the one? Yeah, here it is. This is from who? Can you tell me who this is from?
ABC.
ABC. Trump could still be elected president if indicted or convicted, experts say. Okay. So let me ask you, why would ABC write this article? Why would you?
Keep the heat on.
On who?
On Trump. They want to keep the heat on Trump. They want to keep people revved up attacking Trump. They do not want people to back off. That's the last thing they want. Oh, he's been indicted, he can't go, so you back off. And what that does, that clears the runway for DeSantis not to have to build momentum and not have to deal with the Trump conflict.
Yeah, I think, to me,
am I making ABC sound too smart?
No, I get it. I think it shows signs of weakness and fear that Trump could win. I think this shows signs of fear that Trump could win.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.